All right, I'm speaking with BJ Bass of RBA Sports. BJ, how you doing?
I'm great, Anthony. Good to speak with you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Basketball, it's that time now. Everything's in full flow. I know you've been busy in the summer, but I saw a tweet that came out from the Manhattan Jaspers, and it said they're not rebuilding, they're reloading. And how's the team looking so far?
Um, well, I haven't seen them play yet, but I do know a handful of the players from last year, and I know one of the kids that transferred from Cincinnati, Jermaine Lawrence, is
Right.
um, is going to be a big time player in the MAC. Um, he's a 6'9", 6'10" kid with some skills, can shoot it a bit from the perimeter,
Yeah.
and anytime you have a real legitimate big that can play a little bit in that conference, that's certainly something that's pretty unique. And then they have guys coming back like Emmy Andahar, who's been a really good player for Steve, and
Yeah.
Ashton Pankey, the transfer from Maryland. Um, and then you need some of the other kids, the younger kids from last year, Rich Williams and Wilson, the kid Tyler Wilson. You just hope that they progress and
Yeah.
take another step. And obviously, having Coach back is a big deal because he's had real good success there.
Yep. Definitely.
And but it's going to be tough. I mean, they got Iona. I think is predicted to win the conference, and they have two really good players in David Lowry and AJ English.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both guys that I think English actually has a chance to get some NBA looks when it's all said and done.
All right.
And so it's going to be really tough for Manhattan, but I'm sure they'll be good. Steve's not going to they're not going to be lacking for effort under Steve. That's for sure.
Definitely. And they're not the only team that's had to reload and bring in some new players.
No, no, that's true. I mean, Iona lost Sean Armand, who was a big time scorer in the
Yeah,
MAC.
yeah,
But as I mentioned, I think English is ready to take a big step. I like English a lot. I think he's a very, very skilled player, and I think he's going to have a really big year.
yeah. Good. Sounds good. Sounds like a promising season, as it always is in the MAC. What about the rest of the country? Who's looking hot and who's not?
It's so tough to say this time of year. Obviously, Kentucky is always loaded, and they got some of the kids back from last year that had that experience of going to the Final Four
Yeah,
and to the championship game. And they as they do every year, they've reloaded with some of the best freshman talent. Duke is Duke is projected right up there. They have two of the best freshmen, and they have a kid, the 6'10" kid Okafor, who some people say might be the best player in college this year.
okay.
Um, and we'll see. I mean, he was a big time. I mean, in high school he was unstoppable, but let's kind of see how that translates. Sometimes when you move up a level, it's you never know. I mean, it may translate really well,
Yeah,
and then again, maybe there's a little adjustment period. So Duke will be good. Kentucky's going to be good. It's the usual suspects, man. They just reload every year. Most of the same teams. Louisville, I'm sure, will be good again. Patino always is a threat from the sideline, and I know they have some talent. But it's so early in the season. I mean, we need to. I'd like to go see everybody at least once here in November and December, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
and then make a more informed judgment.
yeah. UConn, they lost Shabazz Napier, who I've got to say, I've only seen one game on TV, but that was the game that they played against Cleveland, and in the preseason, and Shabazz Napier just took over that game. Now, that's quite amazing. Do you think he's going to be able to carry that on through his career?
You mean in the NBA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I think I think he was the best player I saw in college last year. He carried them to a championship. He was a big shot maker. He's a dribble penetration point guard. I think that he'll get better as he plays with other better players.
Yeah.
That can finish around the rim. I think that he's underrated defensively. He's got great hands. Even though maybe you'd like him to be a little bit bigger, he's incredibly quick on the defensive side. He's a high IQ guy.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's a big time shot maker. So I see him. Having a lot of success in the NBA. I guess they're probably working him in a little slowly, which is okay.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to have a great NBA career.
And how's Dwayne Wade looking? Because I saw him in that game, and he looked like he was doing some things, as I said before, that he hasn't done for a while.
Well, Miami is up till, I'm pretty sure they've only lost one game to Houston, and I think that was on a back-to-back. And I didn't see the game last night, but I saw Wade had 20 points and 10 assists, and Gang had 30 points, and Bosch had 20 points and 10 rebounds. So if you get that kind of production from those three guys,
yeah.
And I know Dang's not going to score 30 every night, but let me tell you, Luol Deng is a big-time player.
Yeah.
And so, Miami, they're going to be good. I mean, are they going to win a championship this year? Probably not. But could they still challenge for one? Why not? I mean, Wade won one already. He's got Bosch now. He's, they have Dang on the wing. They have some other pieces that they added. And so, are they going to be as good as the last few years? No, but I still think they're going to be right there. And by the way, I think toward the end of the year, Napier will play a role. I mean, he'll be a key guy off the bench for them.
Right. You think he'll step in and take minutes away from the other point guards?
I do. I mean, I think if they're going to be successful and get to, an Eastern Finals, he's going to have a role to play.
Right. Now, before we go, we can't finish this conversation without speaking a little bit about LeBron. Okay, he's made his move, but as soon as I saw him the first game, I thought, whoa, he's looking slim. He's dropped some pounds, and the rest of the team seems to be playing well around him. What's your take on it?
They're very young. It's going to take them some time, but I love their talent. They just have to figure out their role. Those three guys, Irving and Love and LeBron, are just fantastic. Kyrie and Kevin Love haven't really won yet in their career, so they're going to have to figure out a formula. And I think what they're going to figure out is LeBron has to have the ball, and Kyrie's got to play off the ball,
right,
and let LeBron distribute, whether that's from the true one position, which is really incredible to just think about it, 6'9", 265, 270 guy that can play point guard, or put him in the low post and let him distribute from the low post.
Yeah.
This is something that I really, because, Cleveland, it's the same thing with the Knicks, not to jump off topic, but there's a parallel there. Both of those two teams don't have low post scoring.
Right.
And so what I think the best thing for them to do is put LeBron in the low post. Same thing with Carmelo. Put him in the low post, let him operate, let him score from the low block. He'll be much more efficient, and let him be a distributor from the post. And I think if Cleveland does that with LeBron, and also if the Knicks do that with Carmelo, that's going to be a recipe for success. Cleveland has the talent to get to an Eastern Finals, maybe even an NBA Finals this year.
Yeah.
But they just have to kind of find the blueprint. That's all.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. And I think it's going to be a fun season, and with Kobe looking to quiet his doubters as well, it's going to be fun.
For sure, for sure. It's definitely, look, there's some new teams. It's good to see. Sacramento's played well out west. They have a lot of young talent with Cousins and Rudy Gay. If they can kind of put something together, remains to be seen. But and I think eventually in the East, I think you're going to see teams like Charlotte, um, with Kemba and Al Jefferson, and now
Mm-hmm.
they added Lance.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be tough. I think Detroit eventually is going to get it together. I love Van Gundy. I think he's a great coach.
Uh-huh.
They got a lot of talent, especially in the front court, with Smith and Drummond and Greg Monroe. I mean, they're young, they're super talented, they're big, they're athletic. I mean, they're a problem. So they'll get it together, and I think that's good to see. It's not the same old, same old. You got some new blood that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
I like what Atlanta is doing. I mean, Atlanta beat the Knicks the other night. They're in New York tonight. Jeff Teague is a tough guy to handle.
Yeah.
Corver is just fantastic. So they'll be in the
Yeah.
mix also. And then we'll see. But I agree with you. I think it's an exciting time, and it's going to be a great season.
Excellent. BJ, it's always a pleasure talking with you, and I know you're on the move, but thank you for your time.
Thank you, Anthony. Talk soon.